Good day, great day, and grand day to you all. Welcome back to another segment of Dr. TSA series of spiritual
All right,
discussion.
welcome back, everyone. We're doing a deep dive today, going deep into the world of Dr. Terry Audate, or as some of you might know her, Dr. TSA. We're going to be working with some excerpts from The Awakening Path.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and this is someone, let me tell you, whose journey is pretty amazing, because we're talking someone who went from, like, some really serious personal struggles to becoming, like, a huge name in mental health, like completely changing the game when it comes to healing and personal growth, so.
Sounds fascinating.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
You know, it's interesting. Right off the bat, what strikes me about Dr. Ade is that she doesn't shy away from the tough stuff. Like, she grew up in New York. She had to deal with her parents' divorce and even experience some, trauma pretty early on. But instead of letting all that break her, she kind of turned it into fuel, like almost like it became her motivation.
It's like those tough times, those became the foundation for her work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can see that in her journey. I mean, she gets a BA in psychology from York College, graduates with honors.
Oh,
Come on.
that's impressive.
That's not easy to do.
No. And a lot of people, I think, would have just stopped there, right? Been like, okay, I'm
I
done.
got my degree, I'm good.
Exactly. But not her. It seems like she was driven to just keep digging deeper, learning more. And so she goes on to get a Master of Social Work from Hunter College. So clearly she's not just interested in treating symptoms. She wants to understand, like, the whole human experience.
The whole package.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? Before she even started her own practice, she was working with individuals with developmental disabilities at YIMPD.
Oh, wow.
Talk about getting some real-world experience, you know?
That's got to be invaluable, Just imagine the insights that she was able to gain from working directly with people, helping them navigate daily life. I bet it really shaped her entire approach to care, making it so compassionate and individualized.
Yeah, okay, but get this. The whole Dr. TSA thing, that started with a YouTube video.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about this. What happened?
Well, she's just sitting there in front of the camera, a little nervous, talking about healing, resilience, her own transformation. And the video it was raw. It was vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it just blew up.
Really?
People just loved her authenticity.
Yeah.
It's like she was speaking directly to their souls.
That's the power of being real, right?
Yeah.
People can spot a fake a mile away, but when you're genuine, when you're really putting yourself out there, it resonates on a completely different level.
For sure.
And suddenly she becomes Dr. TSA, this relatable figure who's been through the fire and come out stronger.
Exactly. And it's not just, all feel-good vibes and stuff. This woman has serious credentials. I mean, she got her Doctor of Social Welfare from NYU in 2021. She became an adjunct lecturer at NYU.
Wow.
And an adjunct assistant professor at the New York City College of Technology.
She's not messing around. And on top of all that, she's a licensed clinical social worker, a credentialed alcoholism and substance abuse counselor, and has certifications in anger management and domestic violence specialization. You can tell she is committed to mastering her craft.
Oh, yeah.
And really helping people.
So 2015 was a huge year for her. Not only is she getting recognized online, she experiences this major personal loss and a powerful, powerful spiritual awakening.
It's often when we're at our lowest points that we're open to the biggest transformations, right?
Yeah.
And so this spiritual awakening, it seems to have just completely changed everything for her. It wasn't just about treating symptoms anymore. It was about embracing the whole person, mind, body, and spirit.
Right, yeah. And that's when Audate Therapy Services is born.
Yeah.
This is where she starts to put all these ideas, all this experience into practice.
So what's her approach look like?
Yeah, what's she actually doing?
Yeah.
I'm curious, too.
Yeah.
What's going on at Audate Therapy Services?
Okay, so think cognitive behavioral therapy.
Okay, I've heard of that.
But mixed with mindfulness. Oh, interesting.
And she's not limiting herself to just one type of client. She's working with adults, families, couples, even kids. It's like she wants to help everyone find their own path to healing, no matter who they are or what they're going through.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Her Awakened coaching program. It's like she took everything she learned and poured it into this incredible experience.
This isn't just your typical self-help seminar, though, is it?
No, it's not.
This is deep work.
Yeah.
She's bringing people together from all walks of life, people with their own stories of pain and resilience, right?
Yeah.
And she's guiding them on their own personal healing journeys.
And she's not just some distant guru, spouting wisdom from on high. She positions herself as someone who's been there, who understands the struggles,
Right.
because she's faced them herself. And it's that empathy, I think, that makes her so effective. It makes a huge difference. I think what I find really fascinating is that she's combining traditional therapy with something called psychosynthesis. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it vaguely.
Okay.
Let me.
So psychosynthesis, it's all about tapping into your deeper self, your purpose, your potential, almost like a spiritual journey that runs alongside the psychological work. It's about connecting with something bigger than yourself and using that connection to heal and grow.
So it's like this deep inner work alongside the more traditional therapy techniques.
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like that.
It's a powerful combination.
So she's mixing traditional therapy with this deeper, like, spiritual layer through psychosynthesis. That's pretty unique, but, like, how does it actually work? Like, what does she DO in the coaching program?
Yeah, it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. She uses a whole toolbox of techniques: mindfulness, meditation, visualization, even energy work.
Energy work, like
Yeah.
chakras and all that.
Exactly. She's really tapping into all these different modalities to help people, connect with their inner wisdom, find that sense of peace, and ultimately, become whole.
So it's like it's tailored to each person's, like, needs and beliefs. It's not like she's trying to push a certain,
Oh, no, dog.
on people.
Right, exactly. And I think that's a key part of her approach, creating a safe space for people to really explore their deepest fears, their vulnerabilities without shame or judgment. Because let's face it, you can't really heal if you're constantly worried about being judged.
That's true. You gotta feel safe. It's like if you're trying to fix a broken bone, you need to set it first. You can't just ignore the pain and hope it goes away on its own. You need to create the right conditions for healing to happen.
100%. And Dr. Audate is all about creating those conditions. She provides the guidance, the support. But ultimately, it's up to each individual to actually do the work.
She's like a guide on the side,
Yeah.
not a sage on the stage.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. And I think that's another thing that sets her apart, She doesn't pretend to have all the answers. She's more like a fellow traveler, someone who's been through the fire herself and come out the other side,
So she's not just talking the talk, she's walking the walk.
Exactly. And that's what makes her so relatable, People sense her authenticity, and it gives them hope. It shows them that healing is actually possible, even from the deepest wounds.
We talked about her, challenging these traditional views on mental health. What did you mean by that?
Well, she's really outspoken about the need to destigmatize mental illness. She wants people to understand that it's just as important as physical health, and we need to treat it with the same level of care and attention.
Yeah. And I know, I was reading about her work addressing that stigma,
Yeah.
especially that exists in communities of color.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's huge because in some cultures, seeking mental health help is seen as a weakness or even like a betrayal of your community.
It's so important to break down those barriers and to create spaces where people actually feel safe to talk about their mental health without that fear of judgment. And Dr. Audate is, really on the front lines fighting for that change.
Yeah. It's like she's saying, hey, it's okay to not be okay. We all struggle sometimes. And there's no shame in asking for help.
Exactly. And just by sharing her own story so openly, so honestly, she's giving others permission to do the same. She's leading by example. And that's incredibly powerful.
She's paving the way for a much more inclusive
Yeah.
and a much more compassionate approach to mental health care.
Absolutely. She's not afraid to challenge the status quo and really push for systemic change.
And she's doing it all with such heart, such authenticity. You can just tell she genuinely cares about helping people.
It's truly inspiring. Her story, I think, is just a testament to the power of resilience, the transformative power of healing, and the importance of using our own experiences to help others.
Yeah. We've covered a lot of ground so far, but I feel like we've only scratched the surface. This woman is doing some incredible work, and I'm eager to hear more about her vision for the future.
Me too. She clearly has big plans, and I have a feeling she's just getting started.
So when we come back for part 3, we'll dive into Dr. Audate's plans for expanding her impact and explore what her work means for the future of mental health care. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive on Dr. Terry Audate, Dr. TSA.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? I mean, we've seen her go from facing those really serious challenges to becoming this incredible force for change in mental health.
Absolutely. And you know what I find really exciting is that she's not content with just helping, individuals one-on-one. She wants to change the whole system.
That's right. She really sees a future where saying, I need to see a therapist is as normal as saying, like, I need to see a doctor. That's what she's fighting for.
It's a big goal.
Yeah.
How does she plan on doing that? How's she going to pull that off?
Well, for starters, she's expanding her Awaken coaching program, right?
Okay.
Reaching more people, helping them find their own paths to healing. But she doesn't want to stop there.
So what else? What else is she doing?
Think bigger. She's talking about creating this whole library of resources, like online courses, workshops, maybe even a book, a meditation app, things like that. Stuff that, anyone can access even if they can't join her coaching program directly.
That's amazing. It's like she's democratizing access to all these powerful tools and techniques.
Exactly. And don't forget about her public speaking. I mean, she's already been featured on radio shows, at conferences, but, I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up on an even bigger stage, maybe a TED Talk or something. Just imagine her reaching millions of people with this message of hope and healing.
That'd be incredible. But let's zoom out for a second. If she actually succeeds in changing how we all think about mental health, what could that look like? Like, what are the ripple effects?
Well, for one, it could mean better mental health policies. More resources available to people who need them. It could mean less stigma surrounding mental health, which would make it so much easier for people to actually reach out for help when they need it.
And ultimately, it could lead to just a happier, healthier, more compassionate world.
Exactly. Dr. Audate's work, it's not just about individual transformation. It's about societal transformation. It's about creating a world where everyone can thrive.
So what does this all mean for you, our listeners out there? How can you take Dr. Audate's message and apply it to your own life?
Maybe it's about, looking at your own challenges, but in a new light. Seeing them not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Or maybe it's just about being a little kinder to yourself, acknowledging that, hey, it's okay to not be okay sometimes.
Right. We all struggle.
Exactly.
And remember, healing is a journey, not a destination. It takes time. It takes effort. And it takes a willingness to be open to change.
But the rewards are so worth it. When you commit to your own healing, you're not only transforming your own life, but you're actually contributing to the transformation of the world around you.
So there you have it, our deep dive into the life and work of Dr. Terry Audate, Dr. TSA. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired.
Me too. She's really a shining example of what's possible when we embrace our challenges, tap into that inner strength, and dedicate ourselves to something bigger than ourselves.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in learning more about Dr. TSA and her work, we'll have links to her website and her social media in the show notes. Thanks for joining us on this journey. And remember, the power to heal and transform your life lies within you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
And there you have it on another segment of Dr. TSA series, A Spiritual Discussion. Thank you once again all for watching. Remember to click that thumbs up and subscribe. Also, remember you're loved. Namaste.